On December 26, 2012, the high-speed line between Beijing and Guangzhou was put into operation for the very first time in China. Covering a distance of 2,298 kilometers along 35 stops, its trains reached the speed of 300 kilometers per hour. At the time, this technological prowess made it possible to reduce the journey time from 22 hours to just 10 hours. But since then, many other lines of this type have opened, and China is not the only place that welcomes long train journeys. Welcome to Four Corners Facts, and today, let's take a few minutes to watch the top 10 longest train journeys in the world. If you like this video theme, don't hesitate to let us know by leaving a like on the video, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to be notified of our future videos. And feel free to give us video ideas in the comments. Let's get started right away with the longest train lines. Number 10, the Adelaide-Darwin Line. We start quite quietly with a 2,979-kilometer line that crosses Australia from top to bottom, or bottom to top, as you prefer. With trains that can be taken in both directions, this line runs from the city of Adelaide to that of Darwin. Thus, this line, also called the GON, crosses the Aboriginal territories. It begins its route in the hills of South Australia until reaching the Red Centre, while passing by the famous cities of Alice Springs and Katherine. The trip is therefore over a period of 3 days, but will take an extra day if you use this line between the months of April to October. The line includes a stop in the town of Mangori, known for its opal mining. By the way, for those who were wondering, the name the GON has a very special origin. It's an allusion to the Afghan cameleers who, in the early 20th century, helped explore and build infrastructure in the country's less traveled lands. Number 9, the Moscow Express. We tell you right away, you can expect to see Russian records in this video. For the moment, there is a Russian line in 9th position, and it is the Moscow Express. Connecting the Belarus station, located in Moscow, to the Gare de l'Est in Paris, it is the longest express train line since it extends over 3,215 kilometers. And yes, while it is one of the longest trans-European journeys, it only takes 2 days to leave the French capital and arrive in the Russian capital. Still, to endure a 2-day journey, you will need rest. If you are not too demanding, then you will be fine. Otherwise, sleeping cars are likely to be somewhat unusual. But the railway companies have understood the issues related to 2 days of travel and have planned for it. Luxury sleeping cars have been added since 2011, for years after the line was put into service. However, a small downside makes this trip immediately less accessible. The train passes through Belarus, which is not part of the European Union. Therefore, you will need a Belarusian visa to take this route. In addition, you will also need a visa to enter Russia. Number 8, the Southwest Chief 3645 kilometers. Let's change the air and go to the other side of the globe, to the United States. The Southwest Chief is a train line that departs from Chicago to reach the city of Los Angeles. This line is 3,645 kilometers long and includes 2 trains, the Texas Eagle and the Sunset Limited. They began to circulate in 1971, and they still serve the 31 stops on the line ever since. Travelers boarding the Southwest Chief therefore cross 7 states: Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Moreover, and although this train line is one of the longest in the world, it experiences daily activity. Unfortunately, it would seem that the pandemic has considerably impacted the attendance of this train, as the number of passengers would have decreased by more than 40% from the year 2019 to 2020. Number 7, the California Zephyr. We continue our journey in the United States, but with another destination. The route that we are going to present to you is one of the longest in the whole country. It covers an enormous area and runs through the cities of Denver, Salt Lake City, Reno, and Sacramento. Thus, this mythical train connects the city of Chicago to the Bay of San Francisco in 39.24 kilometers. Known as one of the most scenic train journeys in the United States, the California Zephyr is an authentic symbol of the 17th century era of the West, as it travels through the Colorado River, the Rocky Mountains, as well as the Sierra Nevada Range, California. A little over 2 days is the time you will need if you want to take the California Zephyr. Number 6. The Vivek Express. Head to India with the Vivek Express. But we must not make the mistake, here we are indeed talking about the Vivek Express Dibrugarh-Kanyakumari. Because it is more than a simple line, the Vivek Express designates a rail service made up of 4 trains, all with different routes. Numbered 15905, the train that interests us leaves from the northeast of India to reach the south of the country. This train only runs once a week, so you better not miss it. And it's not as if you could walk the way. 4,219 kilometers long, the express line crosses 9 Indian states. Of all the Vivek Express, this is the longest train ride in the whole country. Inaugurated on November 19, 2011, that is to say 10 years ago, the line now has no less than 58 stops in all. With an average speed of 52 kilometers per hour, you will need 82 hours of travel, or more than 3.5 days, to complete the immense crossing. Number 5. The Indian Pacific. Crossing Australia from top to bottom is a good thing, but you also have to be able to cross it from east to west. Fortunately, the Indian Pacific is known as one of Australia's most iconic train lines. Operated by the luxury rail company Journey Beyond, the Indian Pacific was inaugurated in 1970, so 52 years ago. This line connects the cities of Sydney and Perth for a total length of 4,352 kilometers. The journey represents a total duration of 75 hours, or just over 3 days. But that's not the only impressive thing about the Indian Pacific. It breaks the record for the longest straight line of railway in the world, covering a section of 478 kilometers. This section is above the Nullarbor Plain, but the ride also offers the scenery of the forests and waterfalls of the Blues Mountains. Number 4. The Shanghai-Lhasa Line. Here we are already at more than half of this top, and we are starting to enter distances that are impressive to say the least. We move on to China, which has to put its stone to the building in terms of technology. And it is with the Shanghai-Lhasa Line that it does so. 4,373 kilometers long, it leaves from the Chinese megalopolis Shanghai to reach Lhasa, the capital of the autonomous region of Tibet, in 2 days. To do this, the trains of the line borrow the plains of deep China, and even pass by the former Chinese imperial capital. Subsequently, the trains reach Tibet through the mountains. And this is not without consequences. More than 80% of the train line is at an altitude of at least 4,000 meters. As a reminder, Mont Blanc is 4,809 meters. In addition, it is estimated that half of this train line was built on permafrost, that is to say land that never thaws. Number 3. The Canadian 4,466 kilometers. We approach the podium of this video with the Canadian. As you will have understood, this train makes a transcontinental crossing of Canada, going from Toronto to Vancouver. This represents a course of 4,466 kilometers long. Originally, the train line was launched by the Canadian Pacific Company. Today, it is operated by Via Rail Canada. For a country as large as Canada, which, let's remember, is the second largest country in the world, having such a large line is a good thing. The trip lasts more or less 95 hours, which represents 4 days on board. And although there is no Wi-Fi, it is not difficult to find another distraction during the journey. The landscapes are an activity in themselves: rocky mountains, forests. Not to mention the animals. It is possible to see moose, brown bears, black bears, and many other species that make Canada so charming. Number 2. The Trans-Siberian Railway. Our top 2 longest train journeys are on the Russian side. And it far exceeds any lines you may have seen in this video. 9,288 kilometers long, the Trans-Siberian Railway leaves from Moscow to go to Vladivostok, a city located next to the Sea of Japan. What is all the more impressive is that this railway was built quite a while ago, between 1891 and 1916. At the time, its construction was made after the request of Emperor Alexander III. The train literally crosses 7 different time zones, enough to have jet lag at the end of the trip. This would not be surprising given that the trip spans a week. Suffice to say that the landscapes crossed vary immensely, From the mountains of the Urals to the gigantic forests of Siberia, the Trans-Siberian Path also passes through Lake Baikal. Besides, there are other popular alternatives of the Trans-Siberian Railway like the Trans-Mongolian, which travels from Moscow to Beijing through the capital of Mongolia. Number 1. The Moscow to Pyongyang Railway. We are already at number 1 in this video. The longest train route in the world is none other than the railway connecting the city of Moscow to the city of Pyongyang, in North Korea. Operated mainly by the Korean Railways, this line had 157 stops, enough to pass through a multitude of places. With a path 10,000 kilometers long, it takes no less than 8 days to complete the crossing from start to finish. Even if technically it is the longest train journey in the world, this record no longer applies since February 2020. Unfortunately, between the health situation and relations between Russia and North Korea, the train service has been suspended. Initially, a portion of the trip was closed, then another, until all service was interrupted. This is where this video ends. Which route are you most interested in? Would you do one of these trips? Tell us your opinion in the comments. If you like this video, don't hesitate to leave us a like and subscribe to our Four Corners Facts channel. Thank you for watching until the end, and see you soon in our new videos.